Welcome to F.A.C.E, Lance.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great, man. In fact, I'm so brilliant that you better put on your shades. Anyway, really nice to meet you, Lance. I did a little bit, looked at what you did. You're an RIA, and you focus on sound money and mining shares. So I'm going to direct you how to share your screen. There's a little drop down menu on top that'll say share screen, green box.
I see it.
So you just click it and decide which one you want to show, and we'll get going.
Let's see here. What am I trying to share here?
Were there any charts or anything that you wanted to show, your website, anything, or you just want, I could take over the screen and talk about charts. I know that you're focused on precious metals in your fund. So would you rather have me do it?
I didn't prepare any charts. So, I thought we just kind of talk through it.
All right. Well, next time bring a note from your mother, and if your dog ate your homework, that's okay too. So, all right.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah. Yes. So next time. All right.
All right.
So anyway, why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey in the business? What were you doing before you got into the markets and overseeing money? Did you have a mentor? Kind of a little bit about your journey, Lance. Tell us how you got from point A to B.
Yeah, well, I started with David Tice over in Dallas at the Prudent Bear Fund back in 2000. Yeah. So I could tell 99 was going to end badly, and I wanted to go to work for a short seller, and he was here in town. I'm from Texas, from the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Okay.
So hooked up with him, worked for him for several years, and then set up my own shop.
Okay. So I have to think that, my first trade was when they made gold legal in 75 again, or 76 for U.S. citizens, and it opened on the board at 200.
Yeah, I just been born about 3 years before.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about your future then. So they took it down from 200 to 100. So I actually learned in a bear market, which really did have a major impact on me the rest of my career. I kind of learned that down is faster, although you could have parabolic moves to the upside too. So being with David and him capitalizing on some nice bear moves in 2000, did it ingrain you with bearishness, or have you learned to, that even within, like Jim Cramer says, even in a bear market, there's a bull market somewhere, like right now,
no, I wouldn't
precious
say
metals.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it ingrained me with bearishness. It did, have been bullish on gold for a long time. During the bear market from I really count it from 2012 to 2015, I was short a lot in gold. In fact, 2015 was my best year on record. I think I was up like 160% that year.
Okay.
But no, I have not remained a perma bear on equities in general, as you might have thought.
Okay, and gold. Most gold guys, their mantra is don't wait to buy gold and wait.
Mm-hmm.
And if you bought it in 2011, you had to wait quite a while. You're whole
Quite a while,
again.
yes.
But yeah, so here we are. We're at historic highs in gold. Gold silver ratio has come in dramatically. Between the two, do you still favor silver's outperformance going forward?
I think over time, silver will do better. In the short run, I actually think you're probably going to be due for some kind of correction here. Just it's gotten a little overdone to the upside. Silver has failed to confirm the new highs in gold over the past week. The gold stocks have failed to confirm the new highs. And in fact, the GDX has been down the last 3 out of 5 days. The gold's actually been up and made new all-timers, which is usually not, one day is statistically noise, if you go back and do the math, but several days starts to become a pattern, and it's usually bearish.
Yeah, I was taught that too, that the shares should be leading the bullion. You ascribe to that philosophy too?
For the most part, there are occasions when that's not the case. But if you want to be long the gold stocks, you usually want to see them out in front and leading gold. That doesn't mean that gold can't necessarily trade up. It's just for the gold stocks to work well on the upside, you typically want to see that kind of action.
Yeah, I mean, look how much gold strength it took. And, this was a huge rally in gold. I'm showing Newmont.
Yeah,
For Newmont just to eke out a marginal new high compared to the strength that we saw in gold. They look like two different charts. There's gold.
Well, and it's interesting you point out Newmont, because I mean that's the largest
gold
stock. Yeah, it's the big boy. It takes a lot of money to move it, and the fact that one has not broken out with gold doing what it's doing, and the press is all over it. CNBC talks about it every day, all day, and everybody loves gold. DSIs in the 90s, the HDSIs hit an all-time record, up in the 90s. So there's
What's
no
your
shortage.
Take on this short squeeze article I think came out on Bloomberg about physical, that everyone's going to take delivery on their futures contracts and there's not enough gold to be delivered?
I'm not sure about that, because you had a lot of broken arbing going on back in March, April, that some of that had fed into the August contract as well, and into the other contracts, because of COVID and the breakdown between refineries and being able to ship metal from London to New York. And there was a bunch of noise in there. I mean, you had gold trade at both a premium to spot and at a discount for certain periods of time. So it's not clear, I don't think, what exactly is going on there.
Okay, Lance. So, I also noticed that you write a daily market summary, and I can't get access to it because I didn't join yet, but what kind of coverage do you offer in here? Well, let's see here. Free trial.
Well, here, tell you what, I think I can get you on here. Hang on a second.
Or you could share your screen and show it, but we'll do
that
for next time.
That's what I'm trying to do here, if I can pull it off. All right, so how do I share this?
Okay, so I have to stop sharing. So let me do that. Okay.
Okay. All right, I hit share screen?
Yeah.
And you cannot share while the other participant is sharing.
Okay, how about now?
Still says I can't.
Okay. All right. So, okay, we'll just yeah.
You're not missing out on that much.
Okay. Are you still there?
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah. All right. So, tell us a little bit about your writing. So, is it as an RIA, you don't need to have credited investors to be in your fund. Why don't you tell us what you do as an RIA? Are they individual accounts, retirement accounts? And, what's your major narrative? Do you do other things besides miners in your funds?
I take qualified investors only. And,
okay.
It's gold and gold equities, long and short.
Long and short. Okay.
And I do use some leverage, and but I don't mess around with anywhere else outside of gold, silver, mining, and the metals themselves.
Okay. Any of the exotics like palladium or platinum that you pay attention to?
I mean, I can buy those things. I haven't in a long time.
Okay. So have you lightened up on this run? You start talking about things that tell you that sentiment is extreme. gold shares not performing like bullion, does that give you reasons to pair your positions up here?
Right, I did actually last Monday. I sold out of all my levered longs, and I actually turned net short the equities, the GDX specifically,
How
through.
do you do that, with puts?
No, I do it. I do it through the leveraged ETFs, Dust and
Dust?
JDust primarily. And I mean, I don't go full bore, but if you're looking at, now it's 2 times instead of 3. So if if you're
They
50%,
changed it. So is
right,
Dust the inverted one?
correct. So
Okay,
I'm
so
currently I'm long Dust, so I'm effectively 2 times short GDX, and I'll stay short until I get the correction, I think, or if it makes a new high, I'll stop out of it.
yeah, this is what happens when they have reverse splits, right?
Well, they
So
had, it blew
is
up
this it?
back in March when it was 3 times, and they had to reduce the leverage because they had some problems.
Yeah. Okay. So there really isn't a lot of selections for you to play the short side in the ETF world, is there? Is this the only one?
There's JDust, which is
The
3 times
juniors?
short the GDXJ.
Okay.
The triple short metals, those kind of went away, and the triple long metals actually went away too, because you used to have UGLD, which was 3 times long GLD, and whoever it is that built that thing decided it was no more. About a month ago, actually.
Oh, okay. And
Which is a shame.
yeah, so yeah, not a lot of options for you to. How about futures? You ever use futures to trade the short
I
side?
don't. I mean, I've traded them before, but I don't use them for clients. No.
Okay. All right. Well, anything you want to bring up next time? We'll show your website, and maybe you could bring some charts and explain it. Why don't we do this? You probably are having a great year. I mean, we're in August, 8 months into it. What's your fund doing for the year?
Well, it's not a fund. They're
Oh,
individual
that's right.
accounts, and
Yeah.
they're run pari passu, so they're all run in line. But yeah, it's a decent year. So we'll see how it
What's your
ends.
biggest drawdown for future?
Well, that would have been back in March, and
Okay, yeah.
that was gosh, it was like 25%. It wasn't good.
Yeah. So, but you got it. That was one heck of a recovery. You have a
Okay.
view on just equities in general, the economy, COVID, anything geo that you think is going to be after we get this correction? And since you're a little bit negative, a little bit short, how much downside do you think there could be in a corrective move in gold?
I see less downside in gold than I do in the gold stocks. I'm a little
Okay.
concerned in the near term that you had a very similar situation back in August of 2007 when the mortgage market broke and the Fed eased aggressively. The dollar weakened, gold took off. Everybody assumed that inflation was going to occur. Gold took out the old 1980 high of 850 in I believe it was January or February of 2008. It peaked at 1,000 in early March of 2008. Gold bulls felt pretty smart, myself included at the time. And but by the end of the year, gold had corrected 30% from that high, and the gold stocks had fallen about 70% based on the GDX. So of course, after that, gold went on to print 1900 a few years later.
Yeah.
So
And the
the
shares
gold,
really didn't keep pace with that recovery.
well, yeah, they crashed with the equity markets. So, I
Right.
mean, in the big picture, being bullish, gold was right, and it made a new all-time high, and that told you that more, new all-time highs were coming. However, in the short run, you had to sit through some turbulence, and I I kind of worry that we could be looking at something similar now because, where QE is basically replaced rate cuts back then. So everybody assumes because of QE, the dollar is going to continue to collapse and inflation's coming and gold's headed to the moon. We've just made a new all-time high, just like we did back in early 2008. Everybody assumes it's up and away. But, what if you do get another one of these deflationary waves? And because I don't think the economy, I don't see the transmission mechanism for inflation at the moment. I think you'll get it because what they'll eventually do is ACH cash into everybody's account. But that's not going to happen between now and the election, except for one more time with the stimulus package they're going to do. But, when they actually start helicoptering money in to people's accounts, you will get inflation. But it's not going to happen now, I'm afraid. And therefore, you could be in for some sort of, nasty period on the other side of this before we really get paid with new all-time highs.
Yeah, well, I don't know how it's going to play out in the metals, but there are some major cycles due next spring in grains. You can't eat gold. And, if there's going to be price inflation, it's already showing up in the supermarket. But if we get a bull market in grains, that's really going to feed into the inflation psychology. And I think that, could be delayed until next spring. Planting, you have a view on the dollar as a gold guy?
I think over time the dollar is going to weaken. Is it going to zero tomorrow? Probably not. Specs are heavily short it right now. Everybody's negative on the dollar. The DSI for the dollar index hit 8.
Yeah.
It was on Thursday, which is zero. So you're probably due for some sort of counter trend rally in the short run. That would obviously feed into probably some weakness in gold.
Okay. Are you looking for some type of reset and the dollar to be dethroned as a reserve currency, like a lot of gold proponents are looking for some type of reset, maybe through the IMF, SDRs, etc.?
I think eventually something like that will happen. What I've learned over time is that these things always take a lot longer than you think. And I think eventually, yes, that will happen to the dollar, but when is the big question. Probably not soon. And, will gold be a component of whatever replaces it? Probably. But there again, it's the timing of all that coming together.
How about the election, Lance? You think, do you have any type of scenario of, depending upon who wins, what the impact may be on gold prices?
No, not in particular, not based on who wins. Because of the timing of the election, I do think that once you get some sort of agreement on the current stimulus package, which it may take stock prices going lower in order to force the politicians in Washington to do something. But once that's done, nothing's going to happen in Washington between now and the election. So they'll effectively be frozen. So if the economy does turn over again, markets turn over again between now and the election, it's going to drag on all asset prices. So that could actually be negative for gold, I think, in the fall potentially, because you won't have the ability for Congress to come out spending and write trillions in checks, because they won't do it between then and the election.
Okay. Do you have a bearish argument for Bitcoin? Most gold people, some do, but most really don't really favor cryptocurrencies at all, because gold has a history to prove how it could, come through civilizations and still be standing.
I'm not negative on Bitcoin. I'm more agnostic, I would say, on Bitcoin. I have a lot of friends that are very bullish on Bitcoin, and they believe it's even better than gold. I'm more pointed towards something physical. Like you said, it's been around for thousands of years. Gold has, whereas Bitcoin EMP, and all of a sudden all your Bitcoin's gone.
Okay. And when you're looking at different gold stocks, what's the most important thing that you look at? Debt that they're carrying or production costs?
Well, I used to buy only individual names years ago, and around 2013, 2012, I started moving into more index-based uh, buying of gold stocks, simply because I discovered over time that you never walked in one morning and a particular gold stock was up 25-30% just by itself because of a
Discovery.
large find or something. However,
Yeah.
you would frequently walk in the morning and a gold stock would be down 25-50% because it was expropriated or something happened or whatever. So generally you don't want to own gold stocks at all when they're in a bear market. So, but when they're in a bull market, they tend to all go up. Some obviously go up more than others based on, where the better companies are. But I would rather be diversified and I'm more looking for the timing of the bigger move, together in a bull market and trying to be short or avoid the bear market.
Okay. Well, Lance, the best place for people to get in touch with you, and remember, he only accepts credited investors. What is the standard now? $250,000 net worth outside your house?
Well, no, it's qualified actually for me.
Qualified.
It's not accredited, and
Okay.
it's 2 million, I believe, in net worth, or a million invested. So
Okay. So is this the best place for people to find you, Lance? I have you up here on the screen at dailymarketsummary.com for your daily letter, or they could also just go to your name on Twitter at Lance J. Lewis.
yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Well, it was nice meeting you, Lance, and good luck on this counter trend trade that you're taking. That'll be our tagline for your interview, and appreciate you spending the time in our community and talking to us about your view. It's interesting to me and tells me you're a pro, that you notice a lot of things that are happening underneath the surface of a market to, um, you know, think that things go in both directions. So thanks again. You're now my trading warrior, brother, if you want to be.
I appreciate your time, Dale. It was fun. Next time I'll be better prepared with some charts and some fun pictures.
Okay. Thank you, Lance. Good hunting. I hope you and your loved ones remain untouched, and good hunting for you the remainder of the summer.
All right. Take it easy, Dale.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. That's Lance Lewis, and that's going to be a wrap of our Turnaround Tuesday. So I want to thank everyone for hanging out with us today, and I'm going to end the meeting. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Good luck the rest of the day. Don't forget to sign up, and after F.A.C.E, you could go right into our chat room, hang out with Blake and all the other traders. Thank you, guys. Adios.